What's up, guys? We are back with a full NBA slate here on Tuesday, November 12th. We're going to break down every game and look at the bets on the side and over-under, and I'll throw some player props in the pinned comment for tomorrow for the national TV game. So buckle up, we have a great video for you tonight. Monday went pretty okay, guys. We did miss there on the LA Rams. They played a pretty terrible game. Stafford did come through for us on our player prop there. The over on his passing yards, 293 passing yards for him, crushing that over of over 249.5. We also had a Parkinson there under 19.5 receiving yards. That one seemed super duper free, guys. That guy didn't get a single reception in the game, so we'll definitely take that one, put it on the board. We also had the Brooklyn Nets minus 1.5. They had a 107-105 win there against the very depleted New Orleans Pelicans, so another nice win, and we finished things off strong, guys. A crazy game there for the Clippers. They ended up covering that 7.5 for us. It was a close one. They lost that game 134-128 there against the Thunder. A nice win for us, though, thanks in large part to 31 points there from Norman Powell. So we'll take that, a 4-1 day. Obviously, losing that NFL pick didn't feel great, but overall, not a bad night at all. If you want to win all of your bets today, hit that like button. It's good luck and show support for the channel and all the hard work we're putting in every single day. Subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on our daily content. You can now also sign up for a channel membership by clicking the little join button right below the video. Members get exclusive early access to all NFL and college football videos and get their names up on screen just like right now. I really appreciate the support from all of you. Seeing that badge next to your comments absolutely warms my heart. Our videos are sponsored by StumpTheSpread.com. We have a team of experienced cappers over there for every major sport, currently covering NFL, NBA, NCAA football, UFC, NHL, and NCAA basketball. This is one of the best times of the year to be in the mix with so many sports going on. We actually just hit another college basketball pick. We are 3-0 in college basketball premium picks over the last 2 days. Click the link in the description if you're interested in signing up, and also to join our free email list to get the occasional free or premium pick straight to your inbox. Comment below with any bets you're looking at today, and we will give you our best advice on all of them. We are committed to responding to every single comment every day, so let us know anything you want to say about my picks, these videos, or anything you see here. As always, our favorite picks will be in the pinned comment down below. Now let's get into game one. We have the Atlanta Hawks going on the road to take on the Boston Celtics. The Hawks come into this game, guys, not off to the best start to their season. They're only 4-7 overall. They lost against the Bulls their last time out, falling 125-113. The game before that, they lost at Detroit by only a single point. Just not really having a great time. It does not look like this team has improved over the offseason in that, loss against the Bulls, where they really weren't even able to keep it all that competitive. They just didn't really have a lot of answers out there for the Chicago offense in general. We did see, Johnson and Capella each scored 20 points in the game. That's nice. Trae Young played 38 minutes, only scored 14 points. He did have 16 assists, which, some impressive numbers there, but these numbers are not translating into winning. They got crushed on the boards. They made it to the free throw line 30 times, still lost the game. They turned the ball over 13 times, which isn't even that bad. Like, they didn't play that terrible of a game. They still lost by a significant margin. So, yeah, cannot be loving that if you're an Atlanta Hawks fan, and you can't be loving the injury report for this game. Trae Young going to be out for this one. He's dealing with an injury here. He's got that, whole Achilles tendonitis going on. So, yeah, he's not going to be out there for this game. We're also seeing Buffkin going to be out. Bogdanovich is still not back. DeAndre Hunter still missing time. This is not a full strength team, guys. They've had some, some dudes step up a little bit and do some positive things, but right now, things are looking a little bit bleak for the Atlanta Hawks, and it's not like they've got an easy opponent in this game. They're going on the road to take on the defending champion Boston Celtics, who are 9-2 this season, so they have to be flying high. They're coming off a 113-107 win there at Milwaukee, so a nice win, no doubt about it. We saw, positive stuff out there from Boston pretty much all season long. They did have that kind of weird loss against the Warriors, but that was in a game where Jaylen Brown didn't play, and they had gotten healthy. Unfortunately, looking at their injury report, they're not going to be healthy for this game, or it's possible that they won't be healthy in that win there over the Milwaukee Bucks. Like I said, plenty of positives there for the Celtics, the main one being they got the win. They were losing there after the first half, but they had a dominant defensive third quarter, giving up only 15 points in the quarter. We saw the Celtics shoot 19 of 50 from three-point range, so not terrible there. They kept things even on the rebounding margin. They only turned the ball over 12 times in the game, which very nice stuff as well there. Tatum had a monster game, 31 points for him. He was getting to the free throw line a ton in the game. We saw Holiday shoot the ball pretty efficiently. Derek White continues to just be an absolute monster. 15 points for him on 12 shots. He was 3 of 6 from three-point range. He also had 6 assists, so doing a lot of positive things in the flow of the offense. And Jaylen Brown actually had a pretty bad game shooting the ball, but still managed to be a +6 out there. So loving that, loving the great production they're getting from Pritchard coming off the bench, who's got to be leading the race there for 6th man of the year. In 23 minutes, he had 18 points. He was 5 of 8 from three-point range. So loved what we saw from the Celtics in that game. In terms of their injury report for this one, we have some big question marks that are going to keep us from being able to give a great pick on this game until we know what's actually going on. Tatum is questionable for this game along with Al Horford. Tatum is reportedly, dealing with a left ankle sprain, and we'll see if he plays in this game. It's apparently not impossible. He's just questionable, but given the spread that we're seeing right now, it seems like they think he might play. I don't know. It's very hard to tell right now, guys. Going to have to wait for some clarity there on the injury report. Al Horford also is questionable for this game with a left big toe sprain. When you're a big guy, spraining a toe cannot be a good time. So we'll see what he's able to do. He did play 32 points there against Milwaukee, so we'll see what this injury situation ends up looking like at the end of the day, guys. Atlanta, they're 3-8 against the spread this season. They are 9-2 to the over. Boston, 6-5 against the spread, 7-4 to the under. Guys, the Celtics are 15.5-point favorites in this game. We've got an over/under of 226.5 out there. Yeah, this is a weird spot. Honestly, that's way too many points in my opinion. I'm leaning slightly towards the Atlanta Hawks and the points in this one, but not a game that I have a ton of optimism about, to be honest. I need more clarity here on the injury report before I make any sort of real prediction on this game. And in terms of the over/under of 226.5, I think the over sounds pretty reasonable in this game. I think we'll see Boston shoot a ton of threes like they always do. Atlanta, no reason for them not to be chucking them up in this game. They're going to need an extremely hot shooting night to have any sort of chance to win. So definitely give me a look here at the over. But in terms of the side, really need to know who's actually playing in this game. So we'll see what happens in that one, guys. Moving on to game number 2 right now, we have the Miami Heat. They're going on the road here to take on the Detroit Pistons. The Heat come into this game. They haven't really had the best start to their season. They come into this one fresh off of a win, though, a 95-94 win there, a very gutsy win over the Minnesota Timberwolves. So, yeah, big time reason to celebrate if you're a Miami Heat fan. That was a great game. They won that one without Jimmy Butler, so that has to feel good. And that win snapped a 3-game losing streak, albeit against some very good players. But yeah, Jovic making the tying layup and the go-ahead foul shot there with 7.8 seconds left. Very cool to see if you're a Heat fan, guys. Tyler Hero, another big game. He's not being talked about too much, but he put up 26 points, 9 of 15 from the field, shot 50% from three-point range. Another very solid performance from him. We saw, Jovic, like we were talking about, a big game off the bench for him, and it was honestly the bench that really carried things there for the Heat. Having Jaime Jaquez Jr. back has been a big deal for this team. Duncan Robinson's playing some very good minutes off the bench. There's lots of reason for optimism right here for the Miami Heat, especially if they can get healthy. Right now, it's being reported that Jimmy Butler will not be playing in this game either. He's been ruled out for this game against the Pistons. So, yeah, still dealing with that ankle issue. No reason to really rush Jimmy back, I suppose. Doesn't really seem like the kind of guy that needs a billion reps during the regular season. But overall, they are healthy aside from Jimmy Butler there. So, yeah, I'm expecting pretty good stuff from the Heat in this game as they go on the road to take on the Pistons, who not having the worst season given what they went through last year, guys. They're 4-7 overall. They're coming off a 101-99 loss there against the Houston Rockets. They played a pretty good game. Got to give them some credit there. The Rockets, not an easy team to beat. We saw, Cade do his thing out there. He had 26 points, but took him 21 shots to get there. He almost posted a triple-double, which has to feel good, but he also posted a -6 ±. So definitely not, the ideal night, but he was putting up tons of production. He looked very good out there, and he only had 4 turnovers in the game, which is a step in the right direction. Unfortunately, turnovers were kind of what sank the ship there from the Pistons. They had 18 turnovers. Houston only had those 11. So, yeah, not an ideal night from the Pistons, but we'll see what they can do in this one. I mean, obviously, the bench looked decent in that loss. We saw some good stuff from, Stewart, Hardaway Jr., not really impressing me too much, and Tobias Harris remains the most overpaid and just not helpful veteran out there in the NBA, or at least that's what it feels like to me, that's still getting meaningful minutes. But we'll see what they can do here as they go, up against a decent Miami Heat team, no doubt about that. The Pistons are getting 1.5 points playing at home. We've got an over-under of 216. The Pistons not going to be fully fully healthy for this game. Both Jalen Duren and Isaiah Stewart are on the injury report, so we'll see if they play. Duren dealing with that ankle issue. Isaiah Stewart, he's listed as probable with a right ankle sprain, so apparently we're going to see him play. So yeah, that's part of the reason we see the Pistons getting 1.5 points here. We've got a total of 216. Miami 4-5 against the spread, 5-4 to the under. Detroit 6-5 against the spread, and 8-3 to the under. With a total here of only 216, it feels kind of crazy to be looking at the under, but I definitely think in terms of a total for this game, you want to be on the under if you want to make a total bet. In terms of the side, I'm leaning just a little bit here towards the Miami Heat, although they're in a little bit of a letdown spot coming off a very big win over a solid opponent. So yeah, not really in love with this game in general, guys. I think we can kind of find some better value elsewhere. And speaking of better value elsewhere, guys, we're going to be looking at the Charlotte Hornets. They are going on the road here to take on the Orlando Magic. The Hornets, they come into this game 4-6 on the season, fresh off of a 107-105 loss there at the Philadelphia 76ers. So yeah, not ideal for the Hornets, but we will take that one, put that win on the board for us. The Hornets were getting some points there and ended up going into overtime, which is a bit scary, but they found a way to make things happen there late in the game. So we'll definitely take it. Brandon Miller, a big game from him, 22 points. LaMelo Ball, massive game, 38 points, a +3 out there. He did have 6 turnovers, but 8 assists. A few rebounds in the mix, a couple steals. Like, he had a very good game out there. Grant Williams continues to put up some, decent production there. 17 points from him off the bench. This is not a terrible Charlotte Hornets team, guys. They managed to keep that game super, super close despite shooting only 14 of 54. That is 25.9% from three-point range. They had 50 rebounds in the game. They out-rebounded the 76ers there by 10. Definitely a game that Charlotte had its chances to win. So I was pretty impressed with what I saw from them in that game. Looking at their injury report, they're relatively healthy. Trey Mann is on the injury report for this game, dealing with a back issue. He is technically questionable, so it's not out of the realm of possibility that he ends up playing. And if that happens, we've got a fully healthy Charlotte Hornets team on our hands. So we'll see what they can do here as they go on the road. They're going to be taking on the Orlando Magic, who, haven't been having the best time, especially haven't had the best injury luck. They're 5-6 on the season, coming off back-to-back wins, though. They got the 121-94 win there over the Washington Wizards. So obviously not against a very tough opponent, guys. One of the easiest opponents you can possibly face out there. We did like what we saw from Franz Wagner, although he only shot 1 of 5 from three-point range. Definitely an issue, but they're trying to make up for the absence here of Paolo Banchero, and they did so by, taking care of business there on the boards. They only had 11 turnovers in the game. They forced 16 turnovers, so that's got to feel great. The bench looked very good, guys. Mo Wagner, a +18 coming off the bench, scored 16 points. We saw Cole Anthony, a big game from him, a +6. He scored 16 points also, really doing a good job of getting to the line, putting pressure on the defense. And Black, guys, 22 minutes for him, 2 of 3 from deep. Had a couple assists in there, had a couple rebounds in there, posted a +16. So the Magic bench really seems like it's stepping up right now. So we'll see what they can do. Obviously, that was a game against the Washington Wizards, not the toughest opponent. In terms of their injury report, guys, we still have Paolo Banchero out. We've got Wendell Carter Jr. going to be out for this game. So definitely not the full strength Orlando Magic, but a team that's been, putting together some high effort performances. They are trying to, keep things going until they get 2 of their best players back. So we'll see what they can do in this one, guys. The Hornets going on the road to take on the Magic. The Magic are -6.5 for this one. We've got an over-under of only 211.5. Charlotte, they are 6-4 against the spread. They're 8-2 to the under. That's an NBA best mark to the under. Orlando 4-7 against the spread and 6-5 to the over. Guys, I'm not going to mess around here. I really like the Charlotte Hornets and the points here. I think you probably want to jump on that number because I don't think it's going to get any better. I would think it would probably get a little bit worse. I definitely think the Hornets have what it takes to keep this game very, very close. And with the odds makers projecting it to be super low scoring, only 211.5, I think points are going to be at a little bit of a premium. Definitely give me the Hornets there getting 6.5 points. And if you're looking for a side on the over-under here, guys, I'm probably leaning just a little bit towards the over 211.5. But is that one of my favorite plays? But I do think both these teams are in for, a little bit better of a shooting night. I think we could see some points go up on the board. Hey guys, jumping in here with a quick ad break. This is a great time to sign up at StumpTheSpread.com. Signing up for a premium membership gets you access to our entire team of cappers covering NFL, college football, NBA, NHL, UFC, and NCAA basketball, which is just starting up and has been one of our most profitable sports over the years. We make things extremely easy for you with pick notifications directly to your phone and unit sizes assigned to each play so you can see where our confidence level is on every individual matchup. To test out the service before you buy, join our free email list to get the occasional free or premium pick straight to your inbox. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe if you're new, and also if you want to experience peer-to-peer sports betting while paying almost zero juice, click the link in the description to sign up at betopenly.com. Now guys, back to the games. Next on the docket, guys, we're looking at the New York Knicks. They're going on the road to take on the Philadelphia 76ers. This is a TNT game, guys, so a nationally televised game here between two teams that were supposed to be looking a lot different at this point in the season, guys. The Knicks come into this one only 4-5 on the year. They are fresh off of a loss there to the Indiana Pacers. They lost that one 132 to 121, so that can't feel great. They've actually lost 3 out of their last 4 overall. This Knicks team definitely not gelling great here right out of the gate. We saw Anunoby have a big game. He put up 25 points. Cat put up 30 points. We saw Jalen Brunson doing his thing out there. He put up 33. All of that was a waste, guys. They ended up losing this game 121 to 132 because they have 0 bench. Yeah, the Knicks, just no bench presence, guys. No bench presence at all. We'll see what they can do here down the stretch, but it is looking kind of problematic. I think this could be a team that needs to make a move. I don't know how they do that at this point, though, guys. I really don't. It's looking very, very weird out there for the Knicks. Not sure why they were so determined to change things up here in the offseason. They had a great mix, and all of a sudden, things looking not so hot out there. I mean, they did win the battle of the boards there against the Pacers, I suppose, but they just had no answer there for Mathurin. And this was even the full-strength Pacers, guys. I mean, Halliburton did erupt for 35 points, but yeah, this Knicks team isn't that great at defending the perimeter. They allowed the Pacers to shoot 45% from three-point range. Yeah, they only forced 6 turnovers, and the Knicks turned it over 13 times themselves. Just not a very good game there from New York, a team that's been having its problems this season, absolutely no doubt about that. And they come into this game, they're not that unhealthy, guys. I mean, they're still missing Precious Achiuwa and Mitchell Robinson. That's the big deal. Miles McBride is on the injury report as well. So is Cam Payne. And when you're worried about Cam Payne being out because your bench isn't going to be in good shape, you've got some problems. I mean, McBride, a freak athlete and a great shooter, he's dealing with left knee inflammation. So I think there's a very reasonable shot we see him miss this game. And if he doesn't play, that bench unit for the Knicks looks even worse. So lots of concerns here for the Knicks as they go on the road to take on the Philadelphia 76ers, who are only 2-7 on the year. Jared McCain having a big game, putting up 27 points there, helped the 76ers snap that skid with a 107 to 105 win over the Charlotte Hornets. Yeah, that's where the 76ers are at right now, guys. They're celebrating wins over the Hornets. So, yeah, things looking a little bit bleak there for the 76ers. Obviously, they need Embiid to come back and, really get things going. Paul George has to play a little bit better. He seems definitely rusty. Yeah, they really relied on the bench in that game. The bench scored most of the points, guys. The bench scored, 58 points. 58 points in the bench from the bench in that game. Yeah, Paul George only 1 of 9 from three-point range. None of the starters were really playing particularly well. I guess I'll give Andre Drummond a little bit of credit. Yeah, that's where we're at. We're at a point with the 76ers. They're playing Kyle freaking Lowry, 257-year-old Kyle Lowry, 33 minutes in an actual NBA game. Not looking great. Not looking great right now for the 76ers. They are awaiting the return of Joel Embiid, and the good news for everyone that's a fan of the NBA, I guess, depending on your opinion of Joel Embiid, mine is not great. A lot of foul grifting going on there. He's going to be back for this game. So, yeah, a big deal here for the Philadelphia 76ers, having Joel Embiid back. Is that going to immediately turn things around, having their 2 heavy hitters out there? We're going to have to see, guys. We're going to have to see. Tyrese Maxey obviously not going to be back for quite some time, so this still won't be the full-strength 76ers, but we'll see what they can do here. The 76ers, they're -1 for this game. We've got an over-under of 216.5. The Knicks, 4-5 against the spread this season, 5-4 to the over. The 76ers, 2-7 against the spread, and 5-4 to the over themselves. So first up, guys, I think over 216.5 is super live in this game. It might be my favorite play, honestly, because it's a little bit tough to know what we're going to get from either one of these teams right now, but I definitely think you want to be playing over 216.5. In terms of a side, I do lean a bit towards the Knicks here. I know that feels weird. They really don't have any good options for guarding Joel Embiid. Karl-Anthony Towns can't guard Joel Embiid. That's just not going to go great. But How's Embiid going to look out there? We really don't know what to expect from him. So, yeah, my main lead on this game is going to be the over. My side lean on this game is going to be just a little bit of a look here towards the Knicks. Next on the docket, guys, we've got the Toronto Raptors. They're going on the road to take on the Milwaukee Bucks. The Raptors come into this game 2-9 on the season, so not having a great time there. They're coming off a 123-103 loss there at the Lakers. They did not play their best ball in the end of the game, guys. That was the main problem. They got outscored 35-21 there in the fourth quarter. They got outscored a combined 70-48 in the second half. So, yeah, not a great look there by Toronto, at the end of the game. They were keeping things very competitive, but the wheels fell off late. We saw, decent stuff there from guys like Barrett and Quickly. And, yeah, I don't know. I get not even Quickly much credit. He is coming off an injury, but shooting 4-15 from the field, not a great night. The bench didn't look good outside of Brice Boucher, so yeah, he had a big night, but other than that, not a lot of positives to report there for the Toronto Raptors. Looking at their injury report, Emmanuel Quickley's listed on there. Jacoby Walter is going to be out for this game. Quickly, I do kind of expect him to play. He's dealing with an elbow thing now, so I don't know what the deal is. I don't know. I don't know what the deal is with him. Constantly hurt, but dealing with an elbow, technically he is questionable for this game. So we'll see what they look like going up against the Milwaukee Bucks, who are straight up not having a good time. They're only 2-8 on the season. Dame is now in the concussion protocol. He took a pretty hard hit there. Ended up losing that game against the Celtics, a game they kept relatively close. We got Giannis doing weird handshake fake outs and stuff on the court. They're just, the Bucks are terrible right now. They lost to the Celtics. That's not a bad loss, guys. Honestly, kind of a good loss, losing 113-107, but just not the best stuff there from the Bucks, guys. Lillard being out is definitely a big problem, although he was having a terrible game. Green and Portis coming off the bench did some positive stuff. Giannis put up 43 points. He's absolutely killing out there, but he can only do so much on his own. So we'll see what they can do here. Looking at the injury report, it is riddled with guys here for the Milwaukee Bucks. Lillard out, Middleton still out, Giannis listed as day-to-day, Gary Trent Jr. day-to-day, Andre Jackson Jr. day-to-day. In terms of Giannis's availability, he's dealing with a knee. He's technically probable for this game, so I think we'll see him play, but not going to be a full-strength Milwaukee Bucks team. So it's kind of surprising to see they are -7 for this one. We've got an over-under of 227.5. Toronto 8-3 against the spread, 7-4 to the under. Milwaukee 3-7 against the spread, and 7-3 to the under. So we'll see what happens, guys. I'm definitely leaning towards the Raptors here, getting 7 points against this decimated Bucks team. In terms of the over-under of 227.5. I'm probably leaning just a hair here towards the over, but I don't have a lot of conviction on the over-under side, guys, although I do think there's a very real chance the Raptors and the points could end up in our pinned comment. Next up, guys, we're looking at the Phoenix Suns, who are 8-2 on the season. They're going on the road to take on the Utah Jazz. The Suns do come into this game fresh off a loss. They lost 127-118 there against the Sacramento Kings. So, yeah, that's not a great look, but the Suns have been winning a lot of close games. They ended up losing this one in overtime, so, yeah, they just didn't really have the legs to, carry that one through to the end, but not the worst game out there from the Suns. Their defense was pretty bad, but they saw Bradley Beal have a big game, putting up 28 points. Trey Jones had a big game. They had no Kevin Durant in this game. So, obviously, that's a pretty good excuse. You don't have basically the best player maybe not the best player in basketball, but I don't know, maybe the best scorer in basketball. Kevin Durant, an absolute monster. You lose somebody like that, and then you have Devin Booker, failed to step up, shooting only 9 of 22 from the field. He did have 12 assists, but yeah, just not a red letter day there for Booker. And Nurkic was garbage out there, 0 points in his 15 minutes. Just not a very good day. And the bench looked terrible. It was a bad day. It was a bad day for the Suns. They ended up, kind of giving things up. They made a nice comeback there in the third quarter, gave a little bit back in the fourth quarter to go into overtime, and then, just didn't have the legs to finish it off in overtime. So we'll see what they can do in this one. Looking at their injury report, Kevin Durant still going to be out here. Nurkic also on the injury report. The big news is Kevin Durant dealing with a calf strain. They are not going to be rushing him back anytime soon. That 2-week timeline seems extremely optimistic. The last time I was hearing about a calf strain for Kevin Durant was right before he tore his Achilles there for the Warriors. So I'm sure they'll be conservative with that. Nurkic, he's dealing with an ankle injury. He's technically questionable for this game. I think it's a bit of a long shot that we see him play in that one. So we'll see what the Suns can do here going on the road to take on the Utah Jazz, who are only 2-7 on the season, guys. They're coming off a 111-110, so a 1-point win there over the San Antonio Spurs. They've now won 2 out of 3, so yeah, it seems like they're kind of trying, but it's a weird situation right now, guys, for the Utah Jazz. So in that game at San Antonio, obviously a 1-point win win there. Pretty exciting stuff. Markkanen 20 points, Sexton 23 points. He's having a hell of a season. The bench looked great. Collins, Clarkson, and yeah, they just putting up numbers, guys. They're putting up numbers coming off the bench. Nothing wrong with that. Jordan Clarkson was only 5 of 15 from the field, so not an incredible shooting day. And as a team, the Jazz only shot 10 of 33 from long range, but they did have 45 rebounds. The Spurs only had 37. The really only problem there that the Jazz had in that game was what to do with Wemby because he was making shots. But other than that, a pretty good game out there for Utah. Not a team that's had a ton of positives this season. Looking at their injury report, Keontae George, he's listed as day-to-day. Technically, he is, questionable for this game against the Suns. I think it's a little bit unlikely that he plays, but not impossible, so keep your eye on that injury report. And look at the numbers for this one. The Suns not getting a lot of credit because they are so banged up. The Jazz are getting 3 points here at home. We got an over-under of 230. The Suns are only 3-7 against the spread. They're 6-4 to the over, and Utah 4-5 against the spread, 6-3 to the under. Guys, this is a really tough game to figure out. To be honest, I'm leaning just slightly towards the Jazz getting those 3 points since the Suns are kind of decimated with injuries right now. That over-under 230, not really one that interests me too much. I would maybe lean slightly towards the over, but this is a really weird game to try to figure out, and I just need a little bit more data here of what the Suns are going to look like without Kevin Durant. Next on the docket, guys, we've got the Dallas Mavericks. They're going on the road to take on the Golden State Warriors there on TNT. In the marquee game of the night, we've got Klay Thompson in his first game back there playing at the Chase Center against his old team, the Golden State Warriors. So, yeah, kind of crazy. I know he's going to get like a tribute video and all that. It seems like Klay is very much not into the whole celebration of this, situation. So we'll see what happens. The Warriors have been having a great season. They're coming off a 127-116 win there at Oklahoma City. They had a 5-game road trip there and looked great, going 4-1 during that road trip. Just a lot of positive stuff. They did lose at Cleveland, but getting that win at Boston had to feel great. And yeah, a win at Oklahoma City, that's a big win as well. So we'll see what the Warriors look like in this game. Obviously, they're playing this one at home. We've got the Mavs. They're going on the road here, which is why we're going to have Klay playing here at the Chase Center. The Mavs are only 5-5 on the season, so not off to the hottest start. Although they've dealt with some injuries, they lost their last game 122-120 there at Denver, and the Mavs haven't really been super healthy recently, but yeah, losing to a depleted Denver Nuggets team isn't what's supposed to be going on. Luka did score 24 points in the game, but he played 41 minutes. Kyrie had a crazy night, guys. He put up 43 points, a very impressive performance. 6 of 8 from 3, had 5 assists in the game, only 1 turnover. A crazy game, but it does not end up getting his team the win. Klay really struggled shooting the ball, 10 points only on 4 of 13 from the field. He was 1 of 6 from 3. He did have 4 assists in the game, so some positives, but yeah, not a great game. And this bench is looking very thin for the Mavs with all their injuries, guys, and nobody coming off the bench looked great necessarily. I mean, yeah, Dwight Powell once again getting minutes and once again not looking, that great or that terrible. So I guess give him some credit, but Dinwiddie continues to look pretty bad out there, and yeah, just not a lot of great options coming off the bench right now as they're pretty banged up. Looking at their injury report, we got PJ Washington still out for this game. That's been a big problem for the Mavs. Derek Lively II also listed as out. I guess technically Washington is doubtful for this game, but it seems pretty unlikely he plays, and Lively is questionable, but it also seems very unlikely we'll see him out there. Luka is actually on the injury report here. He is listed as probable due to a left groin sprain, so yeah, that could be slowing him down a little bit, and that might not be too fun going up against that elite Golden State Warriors defense. I mean, in their win over Oklahoma City, guys, and that was at Oklahoma City, they got the 127-116 win. Obviously, the Thunder weren't at full strength necessarily, but a great game out there for Curry. 7 of 13 from three-point range for 36 points. Kuminga put up a 20 spot coming off the bench. The dude plays amazing off the bench. What do you want the Warriors to do? He should just stay on the bench and keep on killing. The Warriors shot 21 of 43 from three-point range, so that was awesome. Buddy Hield chipping in a little bit, not having to do a crazy amount. Just a great day out there for the Warriors. So look at the numbers for this game. I'm not shocked to see Golden State as the favorites. They're -2.5 here playing at home. We got an over-under of 233.5. Dallas only 4-5-1 against the spread. They are 6-4 to the under. Golden State 8-2 against the spread. They are 7-3 to the over. Guys, this feels a little bit chalky, but I like the Warriors here at -2.5. I don't think the emotions of this occasion are going to be great for Klay Thompson. We've got a bunch of dudes on the Warriors now that aren't going to care about that too much. I am a little bit worried about whether or not Curry will have a great day going up against his former teammate. It could be a little bit weird, but I kind of expect him to do fine out there, and I worry more about the Mavs, like what are Luka and Kyrie going to have in the tank? How's Luka's groin feeling? Stuff like that. Is Kyrie going to have another huge performance in him? I don't really think so, guys. The Warriors are a very good defensive team. So give me Golden State here at -2.5. In terms of that over-under of 233.5, I'm maybe trending just slightly towards the under, but not an over-under spot that I really like very much. Last but not least, guys, we have the Minnesota Timberwolves. They are 6-4 on the season. They are going on the road here to take on the Portland Trail Blazers. The Timberwolves coming off of that 95-94 loss there against the Miami Heat. Can't feel great. They are getting ready to play a team that they beat by 25 only a couple days ago, so that probably doesn't feel terrible. In that loss against the Heat, guys, we just didn't see very good shooting there from the Timberwolves. They were only 13-45 from long range. They won the battle of the boards, but only by a little bit. We saw Randall have a mediocre shooting game, but he did put up 27 points. Anthony Edwards was 4-14 from three-point range. I don't know what the deal is with having him shoot a million threes. It just doesn't feel like it's very good. He had 6 assists, but also 6 turnovers. Mike Conley, a terrible shooting night, 5 from 3 for him. Just not a good night, really, for anybody shooting the ball, except for Naz Reid and, Nickeil Walker-Alexander both shot the ball pretty well. Yeah, Dante DiVincenzo still. Basically, the bench played pretty well. The starters played terrible. Not a great game there for the Timberwolves as they take the loss. In terms of their injury report, they are fully healthy for this game, so nothing really to be worried about there. They should have everybody ready to go as they take on the Portland Trail Blazers here. So yeah, not a very scary opponent. Portland is only 3-8 on the season. They're coming off of a loss, a 134-89 blowout loss at the hands of the Memphis Grizzlies. Like I said, guys, this just is not very good of a team there in Portland. They're not really trying to win this season. It's more of a tank it out, see what they've got in Scoot Henderson if they've got anything, although that's been looking a little bit rough lately. They are also fully healthy coming into this game, so they've got some weapons out there on this team, but I think this could be like a trade target team, but overall, not really expecting great stuff from the Trailblazers. Looking at the numbers for this one, Portland is getting 8.5 points playing at home. We've got an over-under of 218.5. Minnesota, they are 4-6 against the spread. They are 6-4 to the over. Portland, 5-1 against the spread, and 5-1 there to the over-under. Guys, I like the Minnesota Timberwolves here at -8.5. I think it's a great spot here. I think they're going to easily win this game by double digits against a terrible Portland team. And we've got the Timberwolves here in a bounce back spot coming off of a loss they, shouldn't. They're going to definitely feel like they shouldn't have lost that game. So yeah, I love the Timberwolves here at -8.5. In terms of the over/under of 218.5, I'm leaning just a little bit towards the over, but once again, guys, not really an over/under spot that I love. That's all the games we have for today, guys. Hit that like button for good luck on all of your bets and subscribe to the channel if you're new. Let me know in the comments any questions you have on today's slate. Thanks for watching. You can click the link in the description to check out StumpTheSpread.com, and we will see you guys tomorrow for more sports betting action.